all packed. You're funny. Latvia. Okay. Almost a new year. Yay, new year. Yay, not 2020. Good morning. Yes, we had a very good time in North Carolina. Didn't have to fight traffic too badly. Bo was well behaved, although it got down to 20 degrees at night, and we woke up in the morning and it was 52 degrees inside Bo. Had the wrong heat system on. So learned how to shiver. But we had a great time with little Sarah Marie and Gwen and Andrew and Brandon and Mom and me and Hugh, and it was fun. So as you know, before we left, we had taken Stewie to the cardiologist, and he's in stage D mitral valve disease, which is not a good place to be, but he's doing much better. The big problem we had at the beginning, we started him on sildenafil and changed him from Lasix to torsemide, which is a much stronger diuretic. The problem was I had to special order everything, and it took a week to get here, so we didn't have anything until we got home. So initially, Shayna is on sildenafil. She's on 12 milligrams twice a day. Hi, little girl. Oh, right into the hole. Shayna is on 12 milligrams of sildenafil twice a day, and Stewie's prescription was for 10 milligrams twice a day. So I said, better to get him started on something, and he's bigger than she is, so I figured it would be fine. And it was fine, except for the fact that when we first started him on the medication, it made him really nauseous. So he quit eating. And when he doesn't eat, it means no medications are getting in. So we had to devise a new system for that. And our new system was, I took food that he really, really likes. I was using the Hair Today, either just straight ground rabbit or straight ground venison. And I would put so no supplements, only the absolute imperative medications that he had to get. His Lasix, his pimabendin, his sildenafil, his enalapril, his spironolactone, all of his heart meds. And I put those in a little tiny meatball of just the plain meat. And I put it on a spoon and literally opened his mouth, put the spoon with the food and all the pills at the back of his mouth, and then kind of gently held his mouth shut. So he had no choice other than to swallow. He couldn't spit it out. And that worked really well. Then I gave him the rest of his meal, and I switched to something out of the ordinary for him, because when they're feeling a little nauseous or inappetent, if you offer them what they're associating with feeling nauseous, they're not going to eat. So instead of feeding him our regular grinds, I switched to primal freeze-dried pork, which he hadn't had for a while and really likes, and just gave him that plain with no medications, no supplements. And he ate like a champ when we did that. So then we started getting food into him. He stopped being nauseous because he was getting food along with all of his medications. So that actually went really well for the entire trip there. He stopped being nauseous, and by the last day, I was able to just put everything back in the bowl again, and he's snarfing it down, and he's not feeling nauseous. So when we got home, all of his new medications were here. Now, the torsemide is much stronger than Lasix. It's like amping it up by about 1,000 times. So it's a very strong diuretic. You have to watch for kidney failure. You have to watch your electrolyte balance with that medication. And that's why a lot of cardiologists, a lot of traditional vets are really afraid of using torsemide. I'm not afraid of torsemide because we used it for Pookie for a couple of years, and it was a game changer for her. So we got that in a liquid, and I decided that rather than chance having him not get it in his food, I syringe that in first before he gets his food, so that we make sure that if nothing else, he's getting his torsemide in. So that's going really well, except that this morning I got up to make coffee, and Hugh had already taken Shayna out. And I brought the coffee back upstairs, went to get back in bed to drink our coffee and have our morning conversation, and realized that there was a very large wet puddle. Apparently Stewie needed to go out and just couldn't hold it any longer. So instead of getting back in bed and having coffee, we got up, stripped the bed. It's in the washer. and came downstairs and had coffee by the fireplace, which was just fine as well. So that's one of the things when you switch your dogs onto diuretics, whether it's, and I remember a Facebook friend who's actually a friend in person as well, who has a Cavalier. And when her dog initially got put on Lasix, the dog was wetting the bed every night. And she was just like, how do I deal with this? The good news is they do even out over time. It's just, you've got to give them a chance. And that was my mistake. Stewie went from 8:30 last night till 7 o'clock this morning, and I should have just gotten up and taken Stewie with me, but instead I was like, oh, he's always fine. And he is. He's a really good boy. But so he just couldn't hold it. The other mistake that I made is that when we got his sildenafil, his dose of sildenafil from the compounding pharmacy, I forgot that I ordered 20 milligram tablets. So he's supposed to get a half a tablet twice a day. So his first 2 doses, he got a whole tablet. So the poor boy he's supposed to be on 10 milligrams twice a day. He was getting Shayna's, which was 12 milligrams twice a day. And instead he got 20 milligrams twice a day. The good news is, no bad side effects. You know, we all make mistakes, folks. I'm telling you this so that you all know it's not just you, and our pets can survive a lot. So on his 3rd dose, when I looked at the bottle, I went, 20 milligram tablets, 10 milligrams twice a day, and they're tiny tablets. I figured, okay, I'll get this. It'll be easy. We'll split them in half. No, they're little tiny tablets. This is a mistake. I'm not going to order these again, except I think I ordered enough for like 9 months. But so then I had to get out the pill splitter and cut them. And guess what? They crumble. They're powdery. I get 1/4 and 3/4. Sometimes I get half because I cut up a whole bunch of them. So not the best form. And I probably should have just ordered it as a liquid, because the liquids are very easy to titrate doses if you have to change doses. But it was about twice the price. So, you know, now that I'm retired and don't have my veterinary income from the clinics anymore, I've become a cheapskate. So I get it, guys. And it's, you know what? It's like you pinch pennies where you think you can, and then you don't pinch pennies when it's really important. Well, okay, lesson learned. I'm probably going to waste half of these pills because they crumble and they don't break apart correctly. So I would have been better off to get the liquid, where I know that I can titrate that dose more perfectly. So lessons, I get a new sharp pill. Could I have a good pill cutter? I can get another one anyway. But yeah, the tablets, they're so tiny. And that's the problem with torsemide, and why I knew to get that one in a liquid, because the torsemide tablets are almost microscopic, and he gets 1/4 at night and half in the morning. So, and I learned that with Pookie, because she was supposed to get 1/4 tablet once a day, and I bought the tablets and said, are you kidding me? All right, here, have your speck of dust. So if you get a dog that needs torsemide and they need 1/4s and halves of the tablets, get it in a liquid, because I tell you right now, splitting those into 1/4s, not easy. A brand for a pill cutter, I have no clue. Maybe we should get some and put them in the web store. You know, I have a bunch of them, and I've always gotten them free from drug companies and places. So I don't know. I mean, they're literally just a razor blade in a little thing. So, and you're right, it's a razor blade. So I guess they do get dull over time. Shouldn't split pills that aren't scored. Medication may not be evenly distributed. Yeah, I agree with you, but it's the only way it comes. So yeah, but lesson learned. I will get that as a liquid next time. So, but Stewie's doing great. He's very energetic. He's feeling much better. Could I weigh the pills? I would have to have a really, really, really sensitive scale. They're so tiny. They're so tiny. Sailor's Pimo expiration date was 10/20. Do I need to toss what's left? I'd use it. I can tell you that, especially, I don't know if you get it compounded. The compounding pharmacies can only put a 6-month date on their medications. It's different for each medication, but there's actually a legal limit that they can put on it, and that doesn't necessarily mean that that's when it really expired. So sorry this happened. Glad you're talking about it. Something good to know for future reference to ask if new meds are introduced. Yeah, you know. So we got over, thankfully he got over the hump of being nauseous with it, because if he was unable to take the medication, it would be a problem. Like, for instance, Shayna, I know that the medication causes stool issues for her between the pimobendan and the sildenafil. She used to be on omeprazole and gabapentin for her SM. Thank goodness we found the P, because we were able to stop both of those. But the omeprazole, terrible, terrible diarrhea with that. So we've quit using that for everybody. Yeah, from Wedgwood. Yeah, so Carol, I'd go ahead and finish it out. When you go to medical school, you're permitted to do what you want with meds. Yeah, well. Your Yorkie licks the couch and blankets, asking your holistic vet about it tomorrow. Your other Yorkie lick the air. Yeah, so that can be just a little OCD. For instance, cats in particular, one of ours used to love wool, and he would we call them wool suckers. They just suck on the wool blankets. They either like the taste. Our Abby there's a video of us cooking, and Abby's in the background licking the refrigerator. That was just her OCD. She would lick everything. Can have to do with CM or SM or hydrocephalus, but it can be just a bad habit as well. Okay. Sometimes the opening in the pill cutter is too big for those tiny pills. Yeah, no, my pill cutter has a little tiny opening, so it's fine. But anyway, okay, this is the pill cutter I have. It's great, cuts, crushes, and stores. Oh, cool. Okay. Morning, Dennis. Alrighty. Going to get going. I have no idea what our schedule is going to be for this week as far as being on air and answer. I literally have not taken my computer out of my backpack until this morning since last Monday. So I haven't been answering emails, and I haven't been answering Facebook messages, and sorry, took a little time for me. And I have no idea what this week is going to bring, because we are still packing and we're getting down to the wire. Next Thursday, the movers are coming. So getting down to it. Okay. Let's see if I can find music. Yeah, music other than me singing. Oh, come on. We want to be back at this end. Thank you. There you go. Because the bells are so nice. You're new here. Where do I live? I live in New Jersey, but soon to be North Carolina in about 10 days. Do dogs need to keep taking their vitamin D when in sun? Yeah, they don't convert sunlight like we do. Hi, Joyce. We didn't get hung up in Virginia too bad this time around. Yay, Virginia. Yeah, it'll be over soon. We got a couple weeks of craziness. Got to live in the motorhome for 5 days again, which is fine. We like that. Yeah, Stewie's doing okay. He's a good boy. Lots of memories in the house. Remember the first time I watched you? Yeah, we started our Facebook Lives here in our kitchen. That's why it was Breakfast with Spaniels. And it was right before Christmas. We had our Christmas tree. Yeah, I love the change in weather, except let me tell you how cold it was this past week down there. Oh my gosh. One night, we had that major storm that came through. 50-mile-an-hour winds. I thought Bo was going to rock right off her wheels. Thank God she's so heavy. I was praising her for being a big girl.